Fans are not happy with Khloe Kardashian's family and her friends because the storyline is continuing of them wanting this happily ever after for her and Tristan. I don't know if there just wasn't that much drama going on with the family at the beginning of the year because every episode has been consumed with Tristan and Khloe as a main storyline, and fans are fed up. They're tired of Tristan. They don't want to hear about him. But yet the family continues episode after episode talking about how great he is, trying to convince Khloe that they should get back together. And she's kind of just in the middle like, I don't know. So this week, Khloe was hitting Kris Jenner with some hard-hitting questions as she was asking her about the time that she cheated on her father, Robert Kardashian. Because I think she wanted to know why Kris is so team Tristan. Kris claimed that she was young and dumb and played into it because you don't really understand the consequences of your own actions. Khloe asked her what her dad wasn't doing that made her mom want to cheat, and she said that she didn't know, like, he was such a great husband and dad, but she also thinks that she fell into a type of situation where she thought the grass was greener somewhere else, and it's her biggest life regret. And this seemed to be the reason why Kris had such a soft spot for Tristan, even though he cheated on Khloe multiple times and got one woman pregnant. She said that after her and Robert got divorced, they stayed best friends and talked on the phone all the time, and she was really, really regretful. And so when it comes to Khloe, she wants her to be very careful when she makes these decisions, and she has to let someone go, sounding like she didn't want Khloe to miss out on being with Tristan again. Yes, like I said, we're still on this pro-Tristan train this season, and it's only continuing, and despite the fact that fans aren't loving it, it is the whole storyline here. I mean, there's like some little storylines on the side, like Kim going to meet Karl Lagerfeld's cat and taking her son and his friends to a soccer game, and Kendall and Scott doing a sound bath, and Scott getting surgery on his back. But this is the main storyline that literally keeps popping back in every episode. Now, when Khloe and Kris were talking about all of this, she seemed to be pushing back a bit, saying that she was doing good on her own being single, that she's got her happily ever after with her kids, and when she is with a partner, she puts them first and she doesn't want to put anyone in front of her kids. They're only small for such a short period of time, and she wants to be there with them. And she said she doesn't want anything right now. That's not her first priority, to find a partner, and she told Kris to just give her some time. And Kris did end up saying that Khloe taking her time is amazing and that she seems to be in a healthy place, but at the end of the day, it sounds like Tristan is still the one Kris thinks that she should give another chance to. The producers even asked Khloe about the fact that her mom and Corey have been very hopeful for a future with her and Tristan being together, and she said that she thinks that's probably confusing to people that they just get along so well and other people want more. But she said that she knows where she's comfortable, and right now she's comfortable with where it's at, just them being friends. Later on in the episode, Corey goes up to Tristan at True's birthday party and calls him Daddy of the Year, and then says Father of the Year. And given that people already weren't happy with the way they've been hyping him up as a dad, despite allegedly not having met one of his sons yet, people obviously didn't have the best reaction to these little comments. He told Tristan that he brought all this good energy to Khloe's house and told him that, you know, once his house is finished under construction and he moves back into his own house and they're living separately again, Khloe is going to be left crying. And Tristan said that, you know, he's only a few steps away, but also said that when he's at the house is whole. And with him saying that, I just know he is loving the fact that her entire family wants them to be together. In this episode, he did end up moving back into his own home, and the only thing that Khloe seemed to be worried about was how their daughter was going to feel about him moving out. Meanwhile, everyone else seemed to be pretty concerned with how Khloe was going to feel, thinking that they're just meant to be or something. And the worst part is that a lot of people seem to hope that despite Khloe's family pushing for the two of them to get back together, maybe her best friends would have other opinions. And this week, her bestie Malika gave her opinions on Tristan and Khloe and the potential for a future. Her and Khloe went to lunch, and Khloe said that Malika and her relationship is so good and different from anyone else because she tells it to her straight and she is always honest with her. And Malika was telling her some good things at first, that she should just focus on herself some, go out and do things that make her smile. She needs to bring some joy into her life that aren't just about her kids. She's got to do stuff for her as well. But then Chloe tells her about what Chris said the other day and how they kind of differ in thinking. And she said that if it was true that had been cheated on, if it was her daughter in that position, she would not have the same reaction. She'd go after that guy. Whereas we saw that Chris was more forgiving because she has regrets from her own life. So she's like sympathizing with the cheater here. And as this conversation continued, she said that she's just not ready to date right now. But in the future, she wants to be proud of her man and not feel like everyone is laughing at her over who she's with, which is exactly how it kind of was when she got back together with Tristan in the past. People were like, Chloe, what are you doing? This is a dumb decision. He cheated on you. What are you doing? And she said that she's just not attracted to Tristan based on what's happened. But then Malika hits her with, maybe you might want to save your family and give it a shot. So once again, we have someone telling Chloe to consider Tristan as an option, even though she's literally saying she wouldn't feel proud to stand next to him because she would get laughed at. Like, she knows how people feel. She doesn't want to be the clown again. And Chloe said that she has tried to save it a couple of times already. She's gotten back together with him. She gave it a chance. She just wants to live her life right now. And Malika was like, okay, so it's not a never. And Chloe was super hesitant, probably because everyone is in her ear, hyping him up, wanting them to be a family. But she said it's definitely not now, that's for sure. Chloe said him temporarily living with her was good for them because prior to that, they were barely talking, but now they're in a good place. And I think it's good that they're able to get along as co-parents, given how much he's hurt her in the past. And everyone should just let her do her, because her wanting to focus on herself and the kids and not a man sounds like a good plan. And I think the pressure of a lot of people in her life wanting him and her to get back together, mixed with her knowing that the public wouldn't be happy and would judge her if she did get back together with him, obviously makes the situation a lot messier for her. And I also wonder if the public wasn't involved at all, if they weren't famous, if they weren't the Kardashians, would she get back together with him? Because at that point, you know, the public wouldn't play a factor in judging her and she could kind of just do whatever. But since it is, and the opinions between them and the family are so different, it's leaving her in this big mess. Because we know it's on her mind what people think. She's talking about how she wants to be proud of who she's with and she doesn't want to be laughed at. And I mean, look at what we're talking about. We're talking about the fact that they're getting backlash for saying nice stuff about Tristan. She hasn't even gotten back together with him and they're already talking negative about a potential of that situation happening. So she knows how the public feels and it's clearly a part of her deciding whether to or not to. But the reaction to the episode came pouring in, with people not loving her, friends and family wanting her back with Tristan, and wrote saying, "What is wrong with these people? Chloe has bent over backwards for this man and he continues to do her wrong time and time again. And Chloe ends up hurt in the end every time. Why do people want her back with this man?" Absolutely baffling that Chloe's friends and family are continuously trying to get her to take Tristan back. I wish they would stop giving Tristan the daddy of the year crap, best father. Seriously, he had a baby with another woman and does not see the baby. We call that a deadbeat dad. Why is it that Chloe's family and friends keep pushing Tristan on her and not letting her be on her own like she's saying? He is trash. She finally is choosing herself. Stop trying to manipulate her and get her to reconsider him. I don't get it at all. Given how much he's hurt her, it's surprising how many people are on his side in her family. They see him as this amazing man and father and this chemistry that they have together. And yeah, he seems good with their kids. I don't know about his other kids. And he does seem to get along with Chloe, and he always has. But he still did what he did. Not once, but multiple times. And the fans want better for Chloe, and it sounds like she wants better for herself too. It really does. She's talking about being on her own, being happy being on her own, wanting to focus on her kids. Like, I just don't understand why her family is down her throat, wanting her with Tristan, thinking this is something she needs to decide right now. They're like pressuring her. They're thinking, you know, if she doesn't decide before he moves back into his old house, then she's missed her chance. Like, they're like rushing this whole thing. But with the family in her ear, who knows what will happen. But I want to know what you guys think about the fact that this is the storyline of the season and we just keep getting it. And the fact that it's not just her family in her ear, but now it's her friends that are encouraging her to leave the door open with him. Let me know what you think in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.